In Cyberpunk, the entire game takes place in Night City. Here, there are endless amounts of people talking, yelling, fighting, and celebrating. The noise never settles and the lights never dim. The city is controlled by massive corporations, and out of all of those people yelling, fighting, and celebrating, not one of them cares if you live or die. Most of the time, games want you to feel like the hero, like you're somebody special, destined to fix the problems in that world. But in Cyberpunk, I never felt needed. I only ever felt temporary, disposable, and that is what made this game unforgettable. Today, I want to talk about my experience with Cyberpunk 2077 and how it made me feel so lonely while in a city that never seems to leave me alone. At first glance, Night City feels alive. The streets are bursting with movement, crowds swarming past neon signs, endless conversations playing out between strangers, radios humming, engines roaring, and screens shouting advertisements in a dozen different ways. There is no silence here, no stillness. Every corner of the city seems to scream that this place is full of life, that you're surrounded by people, energy, and opportunity. Walking into it for the first time, I expected to feel overwhelmed, like the city would swallow me whole. But strangely, I didn't. I wasn't feeling overwhelmed. I felt unnoticed. Everyone in Night City is talking, but no one is talking to me. The more I played, the more I realized I didn't feel like I belonged to this world. When I walk down the street, it makes me feel like I was observing it. All of these people don't care about me, and why should they? I'm invisible, a ghost with a gun and a to-do list. This feeling isn't a bug, it's not a failure of immersion, it's part of the design. Cyberpunk gave me something most games avoid entirely, the illusion of connection. Night City is a world that looks so alive, but doesn't care if I'm in it. Even when the game gave me people who seemed to care, like Judy or Panem, it only emphasizes the disconnection more. These characters are incredibly well written. They feel human, intimate, honest. In those brief moments, I almost forgot how alone I was. But those moments don't last. No matter how close I got, their stories continue without me. Their lives move on whether I'm in it or not. I'm not the center of anyone's world. Even when I'm saving the city, my name rarely echoes past the next block. That's what makes the loneliness in this game feel so real. It's not that no one knows me, it's that no one needs me. I was important in moments, then forgotten shortly after. When the jobs are done, when I've spent another night tearing through gangs and corporate guards, I go home, back to the one place in this entire city that's supposedly mine, my apartment. But even there, I don't feel at home. There are no photos on the walls, no signs of warmth or history, just a stash box, a mirror that barely works, and a bed that looks incredibly uncomfortable. This space is purely functional, like a locker with a shower. And the silence inside those four walls? It hits harder than anything on the street, because out there, at least I can pretend I'm part of something. I've played games with much less going on, with smaller maps, fewer characters, and less freedom, but none of them made me feel this alone, not like Night City does. And I think that's why Cyberpunk stuck with me. It didn't force me to belong, it let me sit in the discomfort of being present but not connected. I am very much alive, but also unseen at the same time, and that's a feeling I won't forget. In most games, freedom is a reward. It's the moment the tutorial ends, the map opens up, and the world says, go. You get to decide who to help, where to travel, and how to fight. You start making choices, and those choices matter. That's what I expected from Cyberpunk, and for a little while, that's what it gave me. I could walk on any street and hack any system. I could fight for justice, vengeance, profit, or just to pass the time. I built my version of V exactly how I wanted, down to the tattoos, the skill trees, and cyberware. Night City seemed like mine to conquer, one gig at a time. But eventually, the power started to feel hollow. I was free, but I wasn't moving towards anything. I had complete freedom, but it didn't feel like it had any meaning, as outside of a couple specific main quest objectives, the outcomes didn't matter. I would help out countless clients, clear out gangs, and pick up any job that would pay me, but none of this changed anything. No one remembered, no one called back, and the city did not change. It was like dropping stones into a bottomless well. There was no splash, no echo, no sign that had ever been there. Even the main story, for all its strengths, mostly folds in on itself. The endings are very well written, but outside of those final hours, I never felt like I was truly shifting the world around me. I was just in it and reacting to its changes. That's when I realized something. This isn't a game about control, but rather survival. You don't rise above Night City, you just try not to drown in it. That's the quiet tragedy at the heart of Cyberpunk's freedom. You can go anywhere, but you'll always come back to the same lonely apartment. You can help anyone, but they'll rarely think of you again. You can customize your body, your mind, your loadout, but you can't carve out meaning where the world refuses to give it. And what makes this so striking is how intentional it all feels. The freedom this title gives you isn't meant to be fulfilling, it's meant to expose how even total control can still leave you feeling powerless. Most games let you live out the dream, but Cyberpunk gives you realism. You're not a hero, you're not the chosen one, you're just one more person clawing your way through a city that doesn't care if you make it. By now, you've probably noticed something. This game wants you to feel alone. The disconnection, the isolation, the emotional distance between you and everyone else in Night City, none of it is accidental. It's what makes up the very core of Cyberpunk. We're used to games making us feel important. We're the special one, the hero, the child of prophecy. In most open-world RPGs, the world revolves around you. People wait for your help. Events pause until you arrive. Your choices bend reality itself. But in Cyberpunk, the world moves on, with or without you. Gigs don't stop appearing, factions keep fighting, and people keep dying. Even when you do help someone like Panem or Judy, they don't become woven into your life. They go back to their own. You're not the center of Night City, and you're not supposed to be. That's one of the most honest things that this game does. It reminded me that I was not the main character of the world, just of my own story. And for a game set in a city so obsessed with image, legacy, and power, that's a brutal contradiction. Night City promises you everything: fame, glory, money, and respect, but it almost never delivers. You start the game dreaming of becoming a legend, but the more you climb, the more you realize there's no top, just more gigs, more dead friends, and more silence. You're chasing status in a city where status is hollow. Everyone is selling something, even you. And that illusion of mattering, it's just that, an illusion. I don't think the developers failed to make your choices feel impactful. I think they wanted to show you the crushing weight of trying to matter in a place that erases people by the hour. A place where lives end in alleyways and no one stops walking. A place where you can save the day and still come home alone. This is what makes Cyberpunk so different from almost every other open world game I've played. It's not just telling a dystopian story, it's making you live in one. It doesn't just describe loneliness, it mechanically enforces it. From the coldness of your apartment to the transactional nature of most quests, to the way you can walk for miles and never hear your name spoken. Everything is telling you something. You're not special here, you're not safe here, and you're not remembered here. The truth is, loneliness is part of the human experience, especially in a world like this one. And Cyberpunk doesn't flinch away from that, it leans into it. It lets you sit in that silence. It lets you feel what it's like to be surrounded by people and still have no one. And maybe that's why I keep coming back. Not for the gunfights, not for the tech, not even for the story, but because Cyberpunk conveyed something in a way that no other game has. About what it means to exist in a world that doesn't slow down. About what it means to reach for connection and find only scraps. And how, even in all that noise, that chaos, that neon light, you can still feel completely alone. That brings me to the end of this video, and I want to thank anyone who stayed this long, as I really appreciate the support. If you like this kind of video where I share my own thoughts and personal experiences with different games, then please consider liking and subscribing, as I have a lot more planned. If you can, let me know what you thought of Night City, or if there are any other games you want to hear about by leaving a comment down below. With that, thank you all for watching, and until next time.